Guys, today I want to give you another guide for a special topic as this was requested in the comments. So, the question was what you can do for challenge conquest, you have some tips and tricks and so on. And so for this reason, I decided to make a video about it. So before I start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is important because I want to reach 50 subscribers as my personal destiny, and I'm gonna bring out a super nice special video series, so don't forget to subscribe. This is important, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna choose a random country and then I'm gonna explain something. So first of all, you have 30 generals at the beginning and mostly nice eco income. Then you, for example, for Germany, you have a bunch of generals which are quite strong. For example, Manstein, this is completely okay. So the first thing for challenge conquest, this is really important, okay? The first thing for challenge conquest is check out where your forces are. Yes, this is the very first point. Because you have to know where to send which forces. For example, here we have, here we have a very nice submarine force. The question is now, where do I send this force, this force, this force, this force, and this force? So you have to think. For example, in this case, I would probably think, okay, where are the enemy fleets? Here's an enemy fleet, 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 and here, up there. So probably I would decide to first send some of the units to crush the British main fleet here and start harassing them and then try to attack my targets. So you have to partner your forces really well. This is the first important thing. The second important thing is in the gameplay. So very important, do not attack every single general. So for example, if you look here, right? Let's just choose Rokossovsky. Look at this, 1,330. Yeah? With decent skills and very decent units. Then, or this, Voroshilov, 700 HP. Him, 731. Him, 1,267. Look at his skills. Okay? So, it's useless to attack every single general. So just for an example, if you have the front line like, for example, here, okay, and you attack, it's very important that you not directly confrontate the enemy like this. This is just stupid because the enemy units are gonna squeeze you over unless you have some very powerful generals, okay? So, for example, if you have like the many generals as me, it's already decent, but it's still kind of difficult. So challenge conquest for me personally is still quite difficult, although I have a bunch of generals. So I did some of them. I did Canada. For the 2-star, I did, what did I do for the 1-star? For the 1-star, I guess I did Finland. And for the 3-star, I did Soviet Union. Okay, so the point is, I realized, especially as the Soviet Union, as I continue to push here, like push everywhere, you know, and push into the Balkans. So as I pushed, the Germans start to spawn more and more generals with decent HP. So it's completely useless to attack them. I tried this for the first time, as I did Challenge Conquest Soviet Union for the first time. It was a disaster, okay? So I tried to do something with the general, no chance. The Germans just completely smashed my forces apart. I deployed my Guderian on M20 Pershing, no chance. The German generals ran me down. So, for this reason, wait, I'm gonna change to Soviet Union, this is kind of looking bad. For this reason, you have to avoid the enemy generals, especially if you're fighting countries as Germany, which are spamming mass on you, or if you're fighting small countries with large forces. For example, Romania, just capture the cities. Ignore this unit spam from whatever, look at this. Yeah, it's just useless to fight them. Or this German general, look at this Guderian. This is just useless to spend time and money and of whatever to fight him. Do not do it. So, for example, you're just gonna capture the cities behind the German back. You're gonna wait until the Germans advance, okay? And advance, and you're just gonna go around them. You're just gonna, hey, sweep through and just start clearing cities out. Yeah? So you just ignore the spam. Sometimes it's gonna get critical situations because, for example, you're gonna lose cities. That's clear. You're gonna capture cities for losing cities. That's a key strategy. So, for example, you are gonna capture a city to attract the enemy's attention. For example, you capture Vienna and you capture Munich. And now the enemy is spawning you towards Munich, but however, somehow Cologne just opened. Take Cologne. Take Cologne. Although you're going to lose the city, take it so that you gain time to bring your main units to Munich. Okay? This is, for example, point. Or the second point. If you, for example, have the enemy with only 2 cities remaining, use all your resources to take the 2 cities. It's important because then you can eliminate all the unit spam. Then it's over. So focus on capturing cities. This is the most important thing for challenge conquest. Okay? Another important point is, despite all this and having some decent generals, another very, very important thing is special units are important for challenge conquest. You can probably already imagine why. Because special units have much more HP than normal units, much more attacking damage, and much stronger efforts if you put generals on them. So you should have some decent special units and elite units and a decent tech level and a decent number of generals to even start a challenge conquest. Alright? This is important. And then maybe some of you are asking yourselves, okay, what is this about the surrender function and declare war and or ally someone? So when can I do something and when should I do something? Then you have the report function, you have the national technology tree. So the first thing I would recommend everyone. So in the beginning, build your army. Do not spend too much money, industry, and technology, which you would need to produce decent counterattack units into technology. You can probably purchase something like this. So in the beginning. But this is everything. You are not going to need this crapper technology. If you have a decent amount of generals, which you need for the challenge conquest, then you don't need this tech crap anymore. It's just eating too much resources of you. First point. Second point, for the diplomacy, you can try, you needn't, but you can try to send some resources to your allies which are doing not so good. Okay? This would be a crucial point, because then you can keep them longer alive and win some time. But only if you can afford it and can defend every territory you have and a strategic line defense. Right? Third, you can ally countries, but especially in the beginning, only ally countries if it's of very, very high strategic usage to you. Okay? So do not ally a bunch of countries which you don't need. For example, as the allies, why should you ally Mexico? You can do this in the end for the task of the alliances, but or why should you ally Venezuela? Complete garbage, okay? So don't do this. This is wasted money. Do not do it. Third point. The surrender function. So the conditions for surrender are: first, you are boarded to the country. Second, 20 turns have passed. And third, this is very important, you have to get a significant rate of surrender. So if you want to surrender a country, this we're going to see if you have around 20 turns around, Then you can click on this button. It's gonna turn orange. You can click onto it, and then you can see, okay, I can surrender the countries in the following conditions, and you're gonna see. So if there's 100%, it's 0% chance that you can surrender a country. If you have a 20% chance, then there's already a decent amount of strategy to put into it to that the country will surrender, because what you are seeing there is how loyal the people are. So if the people are already loyal, like already only 10%, then you can surrender them quite quickly. But if you surrender, you have to pay resources. So you have to think, is it worth it, or can I capture them easily with my troops? Or spend Air Force, and if this would be cheaper, of course, you're gonna spend Air Force, right? So, and of course, do not do this for two small countries. It's just useless, right? You pay much money for nothing. And there are also some countries you can't surrender. For example, I guess Germany you can't surrender. Or United States of America or United Kingdom, you can't surrender them. This is impossible. So you can always only surrender the smaller countries, or some powerful countries. For example, Japan, I guess you can surrender. So this is important. Do not spend too much money into surrendering, right? It's really not that obvious, and you need to have a decent game standing to use this function. Okay. This should actually be everything you have to know for challenge conquest. So I'm going to say it again. You need a decent amount of tech level and generals and elite units. First thing. Second thing. Do not invest too much in allying countries or surrendering countries. Third thing. Eventually help out the allies with some resources if you can. If the allies are kind of doing bad. Another important point. Do not attack the enemy generals directly. This is wasting resources. Just go around them, capture cities, and you can also capture cities for a buffer zone. Okay? So you don't need to necessarily keep a city to capture it. Right? And another very important thing that I've mentioned, Air Force is very important. So paratroopers and so on, they can do a lot of decent things. And one last point that I want to mention is do not underestimate the enemies at sea. For example, Germany, last time when I did Canada Conquest, I did everything right. I captured every city, and the German generals are kind of spawning here, spawning here, and I was already completely kind of doomed. However, I successfully captured all German cities behind them because their generals were away, and thought, hey, here's one more port and then I'm winning. And I took the port, invested all my money in this, and then realized, why are the German generals not gone? And I checked the whole map, and I think, what? And then I saw the Germans have captured this port. So, do not underestimate the enemy ports, because you have to see which ports the enemy have to eliminate them. So, this is very important before you start to think of the end of a nation. Check out what the nation has. This is very important. This is the last very important point to remember. Alright, so this is enough. Try out the things you can do. Try out everything. So the best countries is a little bit difficult. So it depends on what generals you have and what type of gameplay you want. So it's depending. But these are the basic tips I gave you. Please like the video if you like the video. This is, something you need to do. And please subscribe to reach my 50 subscribers. Please subscribe on the left side. You can check out my other videos on the right side and the playlist, of course. Also, don't forget to press the bell button to never miss a video again, and write in your comments. What do you think? Do you want something special I make a video about? Write it down in the comments. I think, guys, this is it for today. Out.